What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard. This is the Monday Night Levels. Actually, it's Monday morning, obviously December 23rd, and you'll be getting this 10 minutes after I do it. So it is Monday morning, and should be a quiet week. The markets are relatively mixed as I talk right now. We had some wild action last week. I expect it to be relatively quiet. If anything happens, then we'll be ready. But overall, I expect the markets to be relatively quiet. I don't see any real action taking place here. I think that what you have to always remember is that with the lack of activity, usually there's a lack of things to do. And of course, we're going to play it just that way. I think there's not that much to do. So in the meantime, just be careful and remember that it is Christmas time, so it's going to be quiet. Most professionals are gone. And of course, your outgoing president decided to commute the sentence of the death sentence people. Hey, whatever. I mean, again, he's gone. So, but I think it's kind of dumb, but that's just an opinion. In the meantime, let's get to work. The dollar did reach up to our level of resistance. We don't trade it anymore. Obviously, it's not because we have anything against the dollar. It's strictly cost measures. I think it's a sale up here. I think 108 is the 108 and a half is the resistance. I think your support comes in at about 106. In the euro currency, which we're still long, I think support is about 104, 103 and a half, somewhere in that area. I think that the resistance is about 106. You can see the consolidation. You can see the oversold conditions. Again, there isn't going to be much to do, so I wouldn't be urging you to get overly involved here. The notes are back towards their lows again after a little bit of a rally last week. I think that, again, we are still long, and I would think that you'd be looking at about 108 as the support level if they get that low. And I think that you're looking at 110 as some resistance. As you have noticed, that September 17th, the 10-year notes were 3.5%. Today, they're over 4.5%. So that shows you how good the Fed rate cuts did for you. Bunch of bullshit. The bonds, same as the notes. I think you're looking at 114 as support. And I think your resistance now is about 117. Bitcoin, which we're still short. Okay, again, this has got nothing to do with our opinion. This is just purely a math play. But I think the resistance is about 106,000. I think support is at 90,000 and then 85. If I were looking to buy, I'd be more looking at 85,000. We'll call it 85 to 106. Gold is lower. We're still long, but it's really just consolidating. It's a little bit oversold. In fact, I think that probably 2,600 is a pretty good point to look to buy. I think you're 26 to 2,700 right now, but I do think it's going higher. I think this is just a phase of consolidation. Silver, we have no position, but I think 29 is support. I'd certainly be looking to be a buyer. I think you're 29 to 32. Platinum, we don't trade, but again, certainly it is building some support around 920. I think you're 920 to 960. Copper just continues to vacillate and do shit. I think you're looking at 430 and 405. Wheat, again, we have no position, but I think you're at some support at about 535. I think you're 535 to 560. Corn, we're short. I think corn is 450 to 430. Soybeans, it look horrible. We have no position, but they look like 950 to $10. Cattle, I'm still short. Again, I'd still be a seller at 190. I think you're 190 to 184 now. Feeders, we have no position. I'm not trading them, but again, I think 260 is the resistance level. Support is around 250. Hogs, again, I didn't get a chance to buy them. I missed my opportunity twice now. In the meantime, I think 83 to 88. Natural gas is spiking up a little bit. We're still short. I would think $4 would serve as some pretty solid resistance. In fact, it's breaking right now as I am doing this. I think I wouldn't look to be a buyer until we get down to about 310 or so. Crude still stuck in that same range. 66 to 72. Nothing has changed for months. I don't know what happened to my lines I had there before, but whatever. And of course, in the indexes, I think we've turned the corner here. I'm not getting too aggressive here, but I think 6150 is resistance. 5900 is support. We are going to be long now. NASDAQ, we have no position. I think you're looking at 22.3 to 20,800. Okay. The Russell, which we're getting long, I think 2240 to 2360. The Dow, which we're reversing and getting long after being short through all that, I think you're looking at 42.7 to 44,000. And again, I know the levels are wide, and what I'm telling you is going to be a quiet market, but there's not a lot to do. So I have to give you enough room to let the markets work. The VIX is obviously come down from that spike higher. And somebody had asked me, is it time to sell it? I said, well, I would wait, and because I waited too long. In the meantime, as we look at Apple continues to charge. We have no position, but I think 255, where it was right where we're at, I think that's a reasonable spot to look to sell it. I think you're 245 to 255. Alpha Golf continues to get pounded. I think now is a point, we talked about it last week, 550 if you want to get in. It's just below that right now. Okay. I would wait for it to start to turn up a little bit, but certainly this would be a level I'd look at, 550 to 650. Amazon, we're still short. I think you're still looking at 230 to 215. Bido, Bravo, Indio, Tango, Oscar. I think it's just stuck in consolidation. I do own this, as I tell you. We don't trade it, but I own it. 24 to 28. BitQ, which we bought at $3.47, starting to break down a little bit. I think 23. And I think now you got a real crack at probably coming back to 17. Coin. Again, we're short coin. It's a little bit hard this morning, but obviously you can see what's happened. It has broken down. So resistance now becomes 295. I think you're now 250 to 295. Crowd. I think you're now looking at a market that is sideways, 340 to 380. Meta, which would carry no position in, but I think you're looking at 575 to 620. Google, which we're short, I think you're looking at 185 as support, 200 as resistance. IWM, which we will be getting long in here this morning. I think you're looking at 220. 220 to 230, and then we'll see what happens from there. Microsoft, which we are short, I think you're looking for it to come down to 420, and I think 450 is the resistance. MSTR, we have no position. I think you're looking at probably in the neighborhood of 295 to 440. What a range, but that is the appropriate range, by the way. Nugget, November Golf Tango, which we have no position in, but again, I think that you're pretty oversold. I think 35 is a pretty good look at it. I think you're 35 to 40 for now. NVIDIA, we have no position, but I think you're looking at 128 to 140. The Qs, Quebec. I think you're looking at 540, obviously, and I think you're looking at 500 to 510 to 540. SMCI, in the middle of nowhere. I don't even have levels to really give you. I think if you were going to ask, I would say 30 to 40, but that would just be purely, we'll see what happens. Square, Sierra, Quebec, which we are short. I think you're looking at 84 to 92. The SPY, Sierra Papa Yankee, which we are getting long, I think it's 580. Excuse me, to 610. And Tesla, which has been wild and did come down quite a bit, I think you're looking at 400 is the next level of support. We are short this, by the way, and I think it's 450 now as resistance. Win is just churning in nothing. We have no position. I think you're looking at 88 to 95. And XPI, you're looking at some solid support here. Now I think 88 to 94. And Zoom, I think it's just sideways. I've been dead wrong on this. I think 82 to 87. And again, I would just be careful. My recommendation to everybody is to be very careful today and tomorrow. I don't think there's much to do. Most professionals are off, and I think that's where you want to be. I would not get overly excited, overly ambitious here. We do have our current positions on. So as long as you get those on, you don't have to worry about anything else. If you do anything, I would look to sell credit. In the meantime, to all of you, have a Merry Christmas. And we'll see you back here on Monday the 6th. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and be careful. And then anything changes in markets, I will certainly send out a new update. But I appreciate you all. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and Happy Hanukkah. We'll see you all on the 6th, if not before. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.